Hello everyone, this is Sri Guru. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the previous video, we discussed the applications of dimensional formula. The first one is to check the given equation whether it is dimensionally correct or not. And the second application of dimension is we can convert one system of unit into another system, and also I have given a few work examples. Okay, listen, in this video, to derive the relationship among the various physical quantity, that means in this video we are going to discuss the third application, that is to derive the relationship among the various physical quantities. That means there are different physical quantities are interrelated, and how they are interrelated, and that can be derived by using the dimensions. Here I have written the example to illustrate this third application. Look at the first. Derive dimensionally the expression for the centripetal force acting on a particle of mass m moving with a velocity v in a circle of radius r. This tells that the force, the particle is moving in a circular path of the radius r, right? Correct? The mass of the particle is m. The mass of the particle is m. To rotate the mass in a circular path, it requires a force, and that force is known as a centripetal force. Then what is the relation between force F, m and r? That is what we are going to derive here. First, he tells that this force which depends on mass of the particle, that is m raised to a. And next he tells that this force depends on the velocity v raised to b. And next tells that this force depends on the radius r raised to c. F is proportional to m raised to a, v raised to b, and r raised to c, where this a, b, c are constant term. In this expression we have to find out the value of this a, b, c. Correct? Let us consider this is the equation 1. Now write down dimensions of each term of this physical quantity. Dimensions of each quantities. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಬರಿತಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಸದ್ಯ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಫ್. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಏನಿರಬೇಕು? ಎಮ್ ಎಲ್ ಟಿ ರೇಸ್ ಟು -2. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್ ಟು m means mass dimensions m raised to a is there, therefore write down a. Next, velocity L t raised to -1 whole raised to b. And next r is nothing but what? Radius is nothing but length, L raised to c. Okay, correct? Now simplify this. M L t raised to -2 is proportional to m raised to 1 into a, 1 into a. Next, L raised to 1 into b, L raised to b. Next, into L raised to 1 into c, L raised to c, L raised to b into L raised to c, L raised to b plus c. Next, t raised to minus 1, t raised to minus 1 into b, minus b. Correct? In the previous video, we studied principle of homogeneity, and that tells that whatever the indices term on the right side is there, that should be equal to the dimensions on the right side. Okay, that equation is known as a homogeneous equation, right? According to that, we have to compare the indices of this m raised to 1 is there, here m raised to a is there. That means this a is equal to 1, or we can write a is equals to 1. Similarly, for L, b plus c, this b plus c is equal to 1. Next, this minus b is equal to minus 2. Correct? Now we got the value of a equal to 1 and minus get cancelled, that is b equal to 2. Once we get the value of b, by substituting this value into this equation, we can get the value of c. Okay, then substitute this value 2 here, 2 plus c equal to 1, c equal to, if you take this 2 to the left side or right side, then it become minus 2, 1 minus 2 minus 1. Correct? Now substitute this a, b, c value into equation 1. Then equation 1 become f is proportional to m raised to a. A means what? 1. V raised to b. B is what? 2. R raised to c. C is what? Minus 1. That is, f is proportional to mv square divided by r. This minus 1, idana now denominator term alli barita ideni. That is, this is the centripetal force equation. This is how we can find out the different physical quantities relation, how they are interrelated. This shows that this force is inversely proportional to radius and directly proportional to the mass, and it is directly proportional to the square of the velocity of the particle, right? Look at the another example. Now this is the second example. Here the time period of the oscillation of the pendulum, simple pendulum, depends on mass of the bob m, second the length of the string L, acceleration due to gravity g, small g, and angular displacement theta. Okay, by using the dimensional method, we have to derive the time period of the simple pendulum. Let us consider this is a simple pendulum, right? And this pendulum having the mass m, and it is oscillating between the two extreme positions like this, and the length of the pendulum is L, right? And acceleration due to gravity which is acting downward, that is g, and with a making an angle theta, it is oscillating. Then what is the time period, time required to complete one oscillation, on what factor it depends. He is asking the relation between the time period, that means time required to one complete oscillation, on what factor, that is depends on whether mass, g, length and theta. Okay, now listen properly. I am going to once again derive the equation for time period of simple pendulum by using the dimensions. Okay, what he says, this time, I will take this time period t, which depends on what? First, length of the, mass of the bob, m raised to a. The second one is the length of the pendulum, that is L raised to b. Next, what he says, next time period is depends on what? Acceleration due to gravity, g raised to c. Okay, angular displacement. We will discuss this in a later, because already I have told this. Theta, angle, it is dimensionless quantity. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ dimensionless quantity ಇದನ್ನು consider ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. Okay, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ first this is the equation 1, right? Now write the dimensions of each term. Dimensions of each term, correct? First, time period t is proportional to m is what? Mass, m raised to a. Next, length L raised to b. Next, g, acceleration due to gravity. The dimensions of acceleration due to gravity is L t raised to -2 whole raised to c. Correct? Next, this time period is directly proportional to m raised to a, L raised to 1 into b, L raised to b, L raised to 1 into c, L raised to c, L raised to b into L raised to c, L raised to b plus c according to the indices rule. Next, t raised to -2c. Correct? Now, as we discussed in the previous example, by using the principle of homogeneity, compare the indices. To compare the mass with the left terms, there is nothing is m is there. Therefore, we have to consider here m raised to 0 is present. That means anything raised to 0 is what? 1. Hoda? If I substitute here m raised to 1, does it make any difference to this term? Nothing, because anything raised to 0 is what? 1. If I multiply this m with a t, it remains a t only. Therefore, I can consider m raised to 0. Okay? Hagadre, to compare with a, m raised to 0, a is equal to 0. Similarly, for b plus c, can I take L raised to 0 here? L raised to 0. Or L raised to 0 no consider ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ this last term minus 2c is equal to, if nothing is there, we have to consider t raised to 1 is present. Therefore, 1. Next, c is equals to minus 1 divided by 2. Minus 1 divided by 2. Substitute this value into this equation. B minus 1 divided by 2 equal to 0. Then B equal to 1 by 2. Now I got A, B, C value. Substitute all these A, B, C value into equation 1. Substitute A, B, C value into equation 1. That become equation 1 become T is proportional to m raised to a. The value of a is 0, L raised to b value is 1 by 2, and g raised to c value is minus 1 divided by 2. Just before I told this, anything raised to 0 is 1. Whether next t is proportional to L raised to 1 divided by 2. Here this is minus 1 divided by 2. I can take this as plus 1 divided by 2, writing in a denominator term. Or t is proportional to, or L divided by g whole raised to 1 divided by 2, or t is proportional to square root of L divided by g. This is the expression. That means the time period of the simple pendulum depends on square root of length of the pendulum, directly proportional, and inversely proportional to square root of the acceleration due to gravity. Right? Mass of the pendulum, it does not affect on the time period of the pendulum. Okay? Innondu example. Okay, this is the third example. I am going to derive the equation by using the dimensions method. Frequency of the vibration nu of a string mass depends upon the length L of the string, tension T in the string, and mass per unit length m of the string. Using the method of the dimensions for establishing the formula for the frequency. That means there is a wire. When you pluck it, then the waves are traveling in this wire, right? That means it is vibrating. Vibrating means it is having a certain frequency f, right? And what is given? Frequency is nu, and mass depends upon the length. The length of this wire is L, and what is given? Mass per unit length. Mass per unit length, that means weight of the mass of the wire and total length. Mass divided by length, that means here mass divided by length, that is small m here. Next, tension string, using the, and this tension is nothing but force. When you stretch the wire, then there is a certain force is acting on the wire. That force is F. Correct? How these are interrelated? This frequency on what factor depends? It depends on force and the length and mass per unit length. Correct? How they are related? I am going to derive. Listen properly one more time. Here, first write down. This frequency is directly proportional to this frequency depends upon length of the wire L raised to A. Next, tension. Tension is nothing but force T raised to B. And next, mass per unit length, that is m raised to C. Correct? Using the method of dimensions, I have to establish the relation. Okay? Consider this is a equation 1. Next, write down dimensions of each term. Each term. First, frequency. Frequency dimensions T raised to minus 1 is proportional to L, means what? Length, L raised to A. Next, T, just I said this tension is nothing but here force. Force dimensional formula M L T raised to minus 2 whole raised to B. Next, mass per unit length, mass M per length, that means L raised to minus 1 whole raised to C. Okay, now simplify this. T raised to minus 1 is proportional to first M raised to 1 into B, M raised to B. Next, here there is another M raised to 1 into C, M raised to C, M raised to B plus M raised to C, M raised to B plus C. Next, write down the terms of L raised to A into L raised to B, that means plus B, L raised to minus 1 into C, minus C. Last, T raised to minus 2B, minus 2 into B, 2B. Now apply the principle of homogeneity. That means whatever the LHS term index is there, the same should be present on the RHS side. Correct? Now, what I told in the previous example, if nothing is there to compare with a M, then I have to take M raised to 0. Okay? Now here take M raised to 0 is present along with L raised to 0. Okay? This B plus C equal to 0. B plus C is equal to 0. Similarly, this one, A plus B minus C, nothing is there, therefore I have to take 0. Similarly, this last term minus 2B is equal to minus 1, minus 1. The value of B is 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Okay, now see here, this B value is, here this is B equal to minus C, B equal to minus C. What is the value of B? B is what? 1 by 2. Therefore, C equal to minus 1 by 2. Correct? Next, substitute these two values into this equation. A plus B is 1 by 2. Minus of minus plus 1 by 2 equal to 0. Correct? A plus 1 equal to 0, A equal to minus 1. Now I got A, B, C values. Substitute this A, B, C values into equation 1. Then the equation 1 become nu is proportional to L raised to A. A is minus 1. T raised to B. T raised to B is 1 by 2. M raised to C. C is minus 1 by 2. Or frequency is equal to 1 divided by L into bracket T divided by M whole raised to 1 by 2, or frequency, write down here proportional to 1 divided by L square root of T divided by M. This is the relation between length of the string and frequency. It is inversely proportional, and this frequency is directly proportional to square root of the tension in the wire, and frequency is inversely proportional to square root of mass per unit length of the string. Okay. Okay, in the next class I will give some homework based on this concept. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Okay, thank you.